Here we go. All right. Hey, everybody. Welcome to our podcast. It's an inaugural podcast. My name is Vinny, a.k.a. The Guru, and I'm here with the other guy. Now, we're not really sure who the other guy is, but, it doesn't even matter. But here's what I can tell everybody out there. Me and the other guy combined probably have close to 80 years of real estate investing, developing, building, you name it. The two of us have been involved with real estate and real estate investing. And this podcast, what we're going to do is we are going to get you through all of the bull crap that's out there on YouTube and Instagram, and we're going to give you truth, right? And the other guy, I think he says he's going to give you maybe wisdom. Now, I don't know how much wisdom you're going to get from him, but, we're going to see. So, Kev, what would you like to talk to the audience about today?
Yeah. Well, you're doing the other thing on your other.
Now, what the other guy is talking about is this station, the Guru and the other guy. It's a play on the Gurus. It's the Golden Triangle Academy. It's a school for real estate investors. So that's what he's referring to, and that's who's sponsoring this show. The Guru and the other guy is sponsored by the Golden Triangle Academy. So go ahead. You were saying.
I was saying one of the things that I observed on your other station is I think because all these people are new or there's some experienced people.
I think there's going to be in time because I'm so new. Probably I have a lot of the newbies, and then once word gets out, I should have a little bit of both. Right. I'm hoping I can attract all audiences.
Well, I think that. Can you hear that?
No, I can't hear it. No.
You can't? Okay. Where there should be a portion of your course that really teaches these guys how to talk to people. Because when you have deals, 80% of your conversation is about not real
totally
estate.
Agree.
It's how you handle them, having some knowledge, be able to talk about their dog, just the world in general, or when they say something, you pick something up.
Yes,
you're knowledgeable about something other than real estate because you have to warm them. You really do.
I could not agree with you more. This is all about building a rapport with the sellers, right? Because to tell me if you agree with this or not over your history is that I strongly believe that people want to do business with people that they like, okay? So if you can get them to like you up front by building that rapport, not real estate, so to say, build that rapport with them and have conversations, just like you're talking about. They're going to want to do business with you. Now, you still are going to need to understand how to talk to people, and you're still going to have to understand what you're trying. Like if you're trying to do a subject to, or trying to do a lease purchase, or trying to do a contract deed, you need to know what the hell you're talking about. But that other part, what you're talking about, is so important because people want to do business with who they like.
Yeah, that's whenever I talk to anybody, whatever business, real estate, the other businesses, I don't rush in and start talking about the other businesses or real estate. You're warming them up to show that you are likable, that you're relating to them. Even if a car is parked out in the street, in the driveway, maybe you know something about, I don't know, a BMW, a Toyota, what have you. Where you start, you warm them up. It's not a cold start. Because the worst thing you want to do is go in there and say, oh, yeah, well, I'm going to buy your house and I'm an investor. And then you're talking so fast that they're not... You lost the deal right there.
Absolutely. And you know what's funny, Kev, is that a lot of the gurus out there, that's what they're gonna kind of say, right? They're gonna try and talk about this, talk about that. But in reality, right, you shouldn't talk a lot about real estate on the first call. That first
No,
call,
you should.
I strongly agree with you that first call should just be about building the rapport. But tell me if you like this, Kev. Tell me if you like this one. I'm more like, I start up by saying, hey, my
Right.
name is Vinny. I said, I'm calling you regarding 123 Main Street. Tell me all about your house. It looks lovely in the pictures. It looks
Yeah.
fantastic. I'm not sure why you haven't sold it. It looks like a great looking house. Tell me all about it. And I let them talk for a little bit, right?
Right.
And I try to listen to what
Right.
they have to say, and then I start taking my notes from there, right?
Right.
So you know
Right.
that's kind of like how I try to do it a little bit, right? By building that rapport with them. You know, how do you try and
Right.
do it, Kev? What's your secret?
I'm whatever I do, whatever I'm selling, I'm just low key. I'm not like, but I'm a chameleon. If someone's real excitable, maybe I rev it
Right,
up a little bit. But if somebody's really
right,
laid back, you got to bring it down to their level because you have to be a
right,
chameleon. You
right,
really do because you should reflect whatever their
right.
personality is. And if they're talking to you as you get
Hmm.
off the phone, um, and I'm getting an annoying
Well,
call
turn it
coming in.
off.
But if you no, it's coming through the
Oh, oh.
computer, one of my phones. It's not ringing. I'm seeing who's calling. But I just try to be relaxed. I try to be cool, man.
Yeah.
You know me. It's wisdom and
Okay.
coolness.
Okay.
That's me. I'm cool. I thought you would laugh at that. No, but I really. But this is the thing. We men of a certain age, we know we've been around a long time in so many business
Yep.
situations. So the new guys coming in, they need to really understand that you have to be able to make everybody
Right.
comfortable. You really do, because if you're rushing in, eh, you may have lost the deal, like I said, right off
Right.
the bat. So talk about if you think the guy is into, I don't know, whatever he's into,
Right.
or the woman, gardens, or
Right.
whatever they have going on. Try to strike up a
Right.
conversation like that, and there's plenty of time to talk
Right.
about business. And when they're talking and they're telling you about things, well, you're getting nuggets of information that you
Yeah,
may be able
absolutely.
to use to close the
Absolutely.
deal.
I absolutely. I totally agree with that, Kev. Where that at any
Right.
point you could be doing a deal, and like I said, when I start out and I'm talking to them, I'm writing all the information down. I got a pad and paper there in front of them, right? And
Right.
one of the things that I'm doing, Kev, is I'm talking to them, but I'm writing everything down. I've got their name there. So when I'm writing, when I start my call, the first thing, always, 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 I have, yep,
Mr. Jones.
yes,
That's where you're. But eventually, people don't like that because you're becoming
right.
subservient. So maybe it's good to stick to the
I,
first name.
I, well,
You
listen.
know.
One of the things that I talk about is know your audience, right? So if the
Right.
person is kind of laid back and casual, okay, you can call them by their first name. If you feel that they're very businesslike and business structured, you can say, okay, Mr. Jones, I'll totally understand. It's important to know your audience, right? You got to
Yeah.
know who you're
Yeah.
dealing with. You got to know,
And I think that's where a lot of these young guys, these sponges, they think, why didn't I close that deal? I'm there to help them, but they're just they're
right?
missing it. They're just missing it a
Well,
lot of
well,
times.
part of that,
Um,
Kev, part of that, and correct me if you think I'm wrong here. Part of that is because they're all thinking they got to try and sell the deal. They got to sell the deal, and
yeah,
and what I'm
yeah. You're not going to sell the deal
no,
the
and
first
here's the
time either. It's going
no,
to take a little.
absolutely not. And here's what I try to tell everybody: it's not about sales. It's about education. It's about building a rapport, is what it's
Hmm.
about. You're trying to, especially if you're doing creative financing, you need to build a
Hmm.
rapport with them. You need to build a relationship with them. And then, like I used to say in the past, right? A confused mind will always say no, right? So
Yeah,
you
you're
have
right.
to
You're
learn.
absolutely right.
You have to learn how to educate people because it's not about
And
sales.
and yeah, if you're trying to present a contract for deed,
Yep.
right? Well, it's
Yes.
new to them
Yep.
probably, and you have to take
Yep.
it easy and because one might, like you said, a confused mind. If you confuse the whole situation,
Yep.
that's it.
No
You're done.
doubt.
You're
No
done.
doubt about that. No
You're
doubt
you're
about that.
you're
Yep.
you're done.
There's no doubt about that. You
Yeah.
have to.
I recommend too. Put a little gray in your hair. Like it gets a little thing. Seriously, I'm not kidding you. Put it on your temples a little bit.
Well, what do you think
Because
that's going to do? What's that going to do, Kev?
it's going to say you've been around a little while. You're not you're not. Listen, if let's say a guy is 50 years old and he's coming in and the kid's 25,
Okay.
right? Um, you gotta watch it. You gotta watch yourself. You really do because and you just have to have you know what I'm saying. So you got to maneuver. You got to maneuver. I mean, I didn't have a clue until I was in my
Right.
early 30s, and I had nobody
Right.
like you or me
Same.
or
Same.
teaching me
Yep.
anything.
Kev, I literally had, I had nobody helping me I had nobody helping me at all. I was on my own for the longest time. I made a lot of mistakes, right? I'm sure you did too. But
Yeah,
here's the thing, right? Like,
yeah,
you learn from your mistakes, and that's what we do at the Golden Triangle Academy. I take all my years of experience and I say, look, don't make these mistakes. I already made them. Trust me, I know where it's
yeah,
going to lead you, and it's
yeah,
not going to lead you to
yeah,
any place good. But Kev,
yeah.
our
I mean,
society, the
yeah,
problem, Kev, with our society is that you got people out there that think that they can go spend 10, 20, $30,000 on a guru, and that guru is going to make them
yeah,
rich and open up a secret box that they're going to
yeah,
press and that they're going to change. They're going to change their life by giving somebody this kind of money and going to learn some goofy program
mm-hmm,
that barely works. Because remember, if you're not doing regular investing, and I mean like buying short sales, buying foreclosures, just buying and holding, maybe flipping a property here and there, you're trying to deal with creative financing, which means you need to deal with the ultra motivated people. And they're not going to give away their house for nothing because some guy on YouTube land says it happens, right? You better know what
mm-hmm,
the hell you're talking about. You better bring proof. You better bring backup. You need to be able to talk to these people, but you better know how to educate them, right? Because if they don't know what you're talking about, right? If they don't know what you're talking about, and they
yeah.
hear some cockamamie stuff, oh, you're gonna take my deed but not pay off my loan, get out of my house. Like, you're gonna get thrown out.
Yeah, they're just yeah, yeah, and it's the FSBOs, man. It's not an easy.
Well,
It's not easy just to go in there and try to sell. I mean, for sale by owner
well,
is
here's
they want help because
well,
they're for sale by
well.
owner, but they have
Let me, Kev.
what do
Let
you
me ask
call
you
it?
something on the FSBO, for sale by owner, FSBO. That's what FSBO means. FSBO, for sale by owner. If you're dealing with a FSBO, that
Right.
doesn't mean that they're motivated. You take me and my wife. We've owned hundreds of
Yeah.
properties. We don't need a realtor. We don't need a realtor. Okay?
Right.
But that doesn't mean
Right.
we can have somebody call up and say, hey, let me take over your mortgage payments. Hey, let me do an installment sale. Hey, let me do a lease purchase. Get out of here, right? And it doesn't mean that anybody
Yeah.
else is
No,
motivated.
absolutely.
It just means they might not need the help. Now, there are FSBOs that you were talking about that, hey, maybe there's not enough equity in there that they can pay a realtor. And maybe they need a little help with an agreement of sale or order and title or anything like that, right? The only thing, in my opinion, a realtor does, they bring buyers, right? And if you can market your house on yourself, what do they really do? They sign an agreement of sale and they call the title company and order a title. Other than that, they don't do shit. They don't do jack. They don't do anything. They're
Yeah.
check chasers. If they bring buyers, that's all they
Yeah.
do is bring buyers, right? And if you market your
Yeah.
property good enough, you don't need a realtor. Shit, at the Golden Triangle Academy.
Yeah, especially the supply and demand. The supply and demand.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
Absolutely. You can put your property on the market and it's sold in a day, right? In this market. But my thing is, like I say at the Golden Triangle Academy, question,
excuse me.
is that, listen, right? Oh, I lost my train of thought, what I was going to say there. But you when you're dealing, with for sale by owners, right? Like, just because the owners out there are selling it, it doesn't mean that they're willing to do creative financing, right? It doesn't mean that, right? And that's what people understand. Oh, go after FSBOs, go after FSBOs. No. You can. Listen, I'm not saying don't. I'm just saying don't be surprised that they're not out there, right? A lot more people are educated nowadays, right? And at my academy, I teach people how to write an agreement of sale. I teach people, and you know this, you got to put your contingencies in there, right? It's ultra important, but we teach this stuff at the academy. How do you write an agreement of sale? How do you order title? What is title, right? What are all the components of all this stuff? So my students can sell their house without a realtor right now today, no problem, right? And know what contingencies are going in or what's... So if somebody comes in with a realtor or by themselves, they can say, hey, I can help you write the agreement of sale. I'll also put contingencies in there. Are you getting a loan? Okay, we'll put a mortgage contingency in there, right? We'll put a home sale or a home contingency. I mean, some might have to sell a house, which means they got a home sale contingency. I mean, the contingencies. It's a bargaining tool as well. But just because it's a FSBO, it doesn't mean that they're always motivated, right? It doesn't mean that. So, when you're trying to do creative financing, you have a limited audience, especially in this environment, right? I mean, what's your opinion on this environment right now, Kev, in this market? Like as a seller.
Well, this is the problem I see with this market. Like selling a house is the conventional buyers is limited, and we were at three something. Now where are we at now with the
7?
See that? So if I'm looking for a house or I'm trying to sell a house, that buyer could afford much bigger house when it was 3% versus 7. They're kind of, and that slows up the market. Someone says, "No, I'm not paying 7% because they're thinking 3%." So, like Ocean City,
that's home base for the other guy. Ocean City, New Jersey, like it's on his hat.
Yeah, you can see my hat. I'm not in Ocean City now. I'm in beautiful Florida. But there's only, I saw the report before I left, 231 homes for sale, and that's been that way for quite a long.
Now, where's that at? In the place you're at in Florida?
No.
Ocean City is 200 properties.
Yeah, there's a ton of.
Well, Kev, where I used to live in Florida. Well, I had a second home in Florida. This place, Kings Point.
Well,
There used to be at any given time there'd be 100 to 130 properties on the market. Last time I talked to my realtor friend down there was 5 on the market. Because people like.
Well, see, this is what they're not. If you're going to go sell, like let's say you sell a property at the beach, it appreciated. You're going to get 1.4 million. What are you going to buy? I mean, what do you go? Okay, you sell that for 1.4. Now you're just going to move that money unless you size down. But it's the average median price on the island is like 1.1. You go over to Stone Harbor, it's $2 million.
Yep.
You go over to Avalon, it's $3 million. So what are you going? No one's selling.
Right.
Only the people who need to sell, which are your students, where we can do creative financing, because either they're underwater or, there's a divorce.
Bad partnership.
Some
extent, exactly.
Yeah, they are forced to sell. And if someone's not forced to sell or is
Right.
not motivated, I kind of back up and give them the card and say, "Hey, listen, when you're ready,
Right.
I'm here." Uh,
Well, we ran out, everybody.